Hello everybody, this is Super Tony 5111 making a response video to Scalp. I won't make this too long because once again I'm going to upload it from a cell phone and I'm taking this in my vehicle right now, so yeah. Anyway, first of all, Scalp, I'd like to say, starting off, that we have the same tailor, dude. You got the same t-shirt on that, dude. It's pretty awesome. Glad to see that. Just because you got out of the service doesn't mean that you lost your sense of style, which is appreciated. And you make a lot of points in your video, a lot of which I'm not going to get into right now because I don't have the time as far as the detailed political stuff goes. And plus it's kind of hard for me to do that as a uniformed service member. I'll make this pretty quick. Here, the problem I have, Liberty Chick, essentially, and I'm doing my best here because I didn't bring any notes with me in here, but is first of all her gross mischaracterization of the military. By saying things like, we behead people and get paid for it. You know, like I said, is there a bonus program I don't know about? Because I haven't even heard of a U.S. soldier beheading somebody, let alone getting paid for it. So, you know, that calling us serial killers in uniforms, murderers, dumb and evil, you know, it's just such generalizations that she makes and mischaracterizations, and it basically dehumanizes us. That really irritates me. You know, I'm not a perfect man by any sense of the word, but I like to think that I'm a good person. And I believe in trying to treat people in the right way and treating everybody as an individual and as a human being. I have not met any soldiers that have a bloodlust to kill or hurt anybody. In fact, most of us are just normal people like everybody else. You know, doing a difficult and demanding job. You know, ultimately when it comes down to deploying and, you know, that comes down to the president. You know, the president makes that decision. When it comes down to our budget, Congress makes that decision. To really blame the military for either one of those things, as far as I'm concerned, is misdirection of blame. That level of accountability is held at much higher positions of leadership. You know, as far as like constitutionality of war or whatnot, that's something that the president has to answer for. We in the military don't get to choose when and where we go to war. That is chosen for us. The same thing with our budget. We don't get to choose our budget. That is chosen for us. There's a lot of talk about changing the retirement programs and, you know, cutting back on the personnel, etc., etc. You know, we don't get to pick that. That gets kind of pushed onto us. It just, I guess ultimately what comes down to is just the mischaracterization, the dehumanization of us in the military, the baseless accusations and insults that she tosses around. And that's what gets me upset. Whether you have a D, or an R, or an I, or an L, whatever consonant that you want to have in front of your name that describes your political ideology, for one, I'm happy that we have the right to be able to have a discourse, that we're able to communicate our concerns with a representative that we get to elect. Ultimately, that's what I serve for, is to make sure that we have those freedoms and rights that are guaranteed to us in the Constitution. And I, for one, am really happy that we have those things. You know, there's a lot of what you say that I agree with and disagree with, but the fact is, we have the rights to have that communication and to have that discourse, and ultimately that's what I feel that I am, in the military, that we're the bottom line to defend that and keep that there. I believe that there's plenty of organizations, foreign and domestic, that would be more than happy to take those rights away from us under the guise of, revolution or whatever else. So, I don't know, man. I guess what it ultimately comes down to is, I would expect you as a veteran to kind of understand where I'm coming from. Basically, she's also calling you a murderer, dumb and evil and whatever else. Frankly, I don't understand why you jumped to her defense like that, but whatever, that's your choice. Maybe you guys know each other in real life, I don't know. But I would really hope that you, being a former service member yourself, would understand just how horrible it is for her to say those things about us. There's a lot of bad things that happen in history because people are dehumanizing others and mischaracterizing other people. So, with that being said, that's all I really got to say right now. Hopefully I get to hear from you again. It was an interesting video that you made, and well, regardless of your political ideology, I again thank you for taking the time to create the response video. So, Scalp, have a good one, buddy. And like I said, we have the same tailor. You rock. Later.